Like, am I wrong? Like, everyone's got, like, I feel like everyone's got like a mill in their account
Yeah,
at this
you might
point.
wanna look up what he said.
Yeah, they've had plenty of time to calibrate them.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
I'm not gonna get a million, but
no. I mean, you never know. To be honest.
I might not get anything.
How are you?
It is what it is.
I'm good.
Imagine I walk out of here empty pocketed
Yeah,
after
good to see
so long.
So you're able to walk in here with shit?
Yeah, I have everything.
What the fuck? So the mayor can't bring in things, but the city council can. That's
I
crazy.
guess so. Yeah, I got like a hot dog. I got shit. I got everything.
But let me see if I can sign into that. I'll be right back. Wait, that's so strange. How am I learning this now? Bro, what the fuck? Oh my god. But it's just been doing /on duty. Honestly, I don't think people understand how much Tilly knows nothing about game mechanics. Like, she genuinely does not know how to do basic shit on the server. So it would not surprise me if she has been signing in as, like, has had PD perms and has been doing it.
Bruce. Tears of joy because of how proud she is of me, because she's like my Yoda and I'm her what's the other one? Loki? No, that's a different whole other universe.
Mandalorian?
Luke, yeah, Luke. I'm the Luke to her Yoda. Obviously.
You think she's Yoda?
Isn't that how that works? I've never seen Star Wars.
Well, I mean, if you think you're fucking Luke Skywalker.
I taught him well?
Then yeah, I do think you taught him well. I just don't.
She's been teaching me before you, sir, so
Well, I could teach you a whole lot, so.
How'd it go?
Yeah, teach
you a
me how to
whole lot.
fight.
I can't do it. Are you sure you're not signing in as a cop or something?
Wait, who's sorry?
Why would
I've
I
got
do
you
that?
a
I
lot
go
on
down
my
to the
phone. I'm
office,
so
and that little
sorry.
lady, and
Oh.
I'm like, yo,
Maybe I need city council
Hi.
access as well.
Yo.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
You know, I'm really fucked up though. I'm not gonna lie to you, Nino.
What do you mean?
I'm signed in as
Like,
city
if he
council.
seems
I
others
just have
can't,
all
I
my
don't
food
know.
and stuff.
Can I object
Ava's
for
signed in.
Oh, I got you.
Maybe that's why I don't know.
if you would like to
Cool.
enter objections on your behalf, you're more than welcome to. I
Bruce, you
believe
better
in
be
your
ready. I'll
ability
feed them
bones.
to you.
Oh, okay.
All right. Court is now in session for the matter of Tilly Winters versus the LSPD and BCSO et al. Are all parties present and ready to proceed?
Yeah.
Okay. Defense, you got everyone you need.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Hey.
Well,
don't speak
wait,
for
I
me.
think
Already, man.
so. Is Coyote here?
Nah.
Is Nadia May here?
Standing right here.
Okay,
Hey, Nadia.
Nadia.
Hi, Nadia.
Hi.
Oh yeah, Slack's here.
Crew's all here.
Yeah, I don't think Coyote's
four of us.
here. So.
What about the plaintiff prepared to proceed in Coyote's absence, or do we need to?
Yeah, we're good. Let's just do this. Whatever.
Send it. Okay.
Yeah.
Does the defense
It's
have
been
any
4
objection
months.
to,
It's been 4 months.
This started.
It was more than 4 months, by the way.
No,
It's
it
6
happened in
months.
June. It's October.
Oh, am I doing my math
Yeah.
wrong? Sorry. I wasn't even hired when this started. Let's get the show on the road.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I know all
Any-
I need to know.
any pre-trial matters to attend to before we get started?
I was gonna do a pre-trial motion if Slacks appeared to have a psych eval done on him. As he's not here, I
That
have
guy
no
is
pre-trial
fucking
motion.
crazy.
Yeah, I did confirm he is no longer employed by the LSPD. So,
BCSO.
Hey, Wise, can I try one time for the one time though?
what's that?
Pre-trial motion summary judgment. I believe all the evidence is there for you to review and come to a summary judgment.
But you could have motioned for that on the docket at any point before we got
So-
to
Yeah.
today.
I like
You want to
this.
do a?
I'm
You want to
liking that.
do
We're already here.
a
bro.
summary judgment, Bruce?
Good idea.
For judgment, so I just, it's just a
That's your
sorry.
funeral,
Sorry
Bruce.
for wasting your time, Your Honor.
No, it is fine. Motion for summary judgment will be denied. Like I said, if we want to do summary judgment stuff, let's do it on the docket before we get everybody here, because it will take me time to review and all that anyway. So that would be preferred.
Bruce,
Any other pre-trial matters?
Try and dismiss it.
I'm being advised, Your Honor. Motion to dismiss.
Again, should have been done on the docket. Gonna be denied.
Nice
Let's
try.
not make a mockery out of the courtroom, boys.
I don't think he was trying to make a mockery. I think he's serious. He just doesn't know what he's talking about.
All right.
Sorry, Your Honor.
I watched
Any
Suits
other
a couple
pre-trial
times.
matters? Are we good to get rolling?
Who's your favorite character, Bones?
Hearing
None from us, Your Honor.
All right. And with no further pre-trial matters, we'll go ahead and get started. The plaintiff may proceed with their opening statement whenever you're ready.
Yeah, that's me. Hi everybody. Okay, Your Honor. Today we'll review through testimony and evidence this malicious rights violation by the LSPD and BCSO against Miss Tilly Winters while she was employed within the police department. As already proven through the People versus Cohen Riker, under the direction of former BCSO officer Leonardo Slacks, unlawfully looked through Tilly Winter's SIM card and then tried to cover it up. Today we're here to review the damages sought for this rights violation, $500,000 in lost wages and $500,000 in punitive damages for the violation of right to privacy and right to dignity. So that this rights violation will
Yo,
never happen
relinquish.
again
Thank you for
to
the
another
6
person,
months.
let alone another member of the
Check your
police department.
subs. Check your resubs. Chat. Yo, we haven't had train in 4 days. Yo, we need a Nino Chavez train.
Did he not
Hello, Your
realize how
Honor and
much?
people of the court.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm just
We
saying.
finally made it. After almost
Do it,
4 months,
pussies.
which I thought was 6 months, but I've been corrected. 4 months. We are here. Today is an important day. Today we will hear from the prosecution a victim story. A victim who was robbed. I, for one, am sorry for how long it has taken for her to get her day in court. But that's besides the point. The
Anonymous, thank you
defense
for
is
the
here
5
to
months,
share
man.
the
Fierce
facts,
2 years.
the
Let's go.
unedited truth with you all today. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Okay.
All right. The plaintiff, your first
Alright.
witness when you're ready.
It's good, Bruce.
Do we want to sort
Yeah!
everyone in at once?
Relinquish. Thank you the
or-
5.
Well, I'll get them one by one.
Skra!
Put them up here.
Okay.
Select. Thank you the 4 months.
The
Okay.
plaintiff calls Nadia May.
All right.
Hell is
Miss
Murray?
May, come on forward, please.
Who's Murray in the peanut gallery? I just want to know.
Like,
Zachariah, thank you the 8 months.
Come on to
where
the
do you
witness
want me?
stand, right up here next to me.
Oh, okay, sure.
Go ahead and get yourself comfortable. If you'd like to sit or if you'd like to stand, that's perfectly fine. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and raise your left arm up to the sky for me. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury, so help you airborne?
Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Witness is so sworn in. You may proceed with questioning when you're ready.
Okay. Hello, Miss May. Thank you for being here today. Were you employed at the police department?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Drew, thank you the
What
6
was your
months.
role within the
Wait,
police
she was a
department?
cop?
I was. Damn, that's unfortunate. I was the head of or co-head of the dispatch department.
Okay. Did Tilly Winters work in the dispatch department?
mediate you.
Yeah, she did. As
Uh,
a receptionist.
Thank you. Do you know approximately how long Tilly worked as a receptionist?
No fucking clue. She worked there for a while and then we fired her ass.
Okay. In
Wait!
June,
Wait,
2024,
what? Wait.
do you know the approximate amount per hour you were being paid?
No, I do not recall.
Okay. No further questions.
Okay, cross-examination.
Hey, Nadia.
Hi, Bruce.
Nadia, so you said
lovely
you worked with Tilly and she was a receptionist.
Yeah, I did.
She's a potty.
You said you fired her?
She was fired for inactivity, and in general, we did not like her attitude towards the dispatch department and how she was treating people.
Y'all accounts like of the 4 months, man.
I'd like
Y'all level
to,
3, no
reference
balls.
Some evidence real quick.
Okay.
Objection scope. We never talked about evidence.
Let's
But
have him ask a question. He can refer to evidence. Let's have him ask his question. And if you'd like to object on the basis of his question to scope, you're welcome to do so. Okay.
Okay.
So what was the
You were gonna refer to some evidence and then ask a question.
No, I want to make a digital
What
casino
evidence are you
though,
referring to, so I can pull it up here.
with like goods and shit.
It is going to be. Let me make sure I got the right one here. Hold on. It's going to be hold on. The defense is Exhibit B.
Okay.
Which is a screenshot detailing her termination reasoning.
Okay.
I would also like to. I mean, I'm going to reference them both. They're both related to her position as a receptionist.
Okay.
Nadia, how do I ask this? I don't think I can ask this. Hold
I'm
on,
not
Your
really-
Honor. Let me think just one
I'm not
moment.
really worried too much about this because we can clear it up.
Aha, I
in
got
While
it.
Bruce cooks.
Oh,
Got it?
shit.
All right.
Nadia, in a more. Can you say again why she was fired? Sorry.
She was fired for inactivity.
Inactivity.
As
Activity.
well as another reason that I probably cannot recall. It's been a long time.
They thought she was
I have
changing.
reason and
Let's
evidence.
be honest. Let's be fucking honest. You remember?
Her
You
evidence
just
is
don't want to
into evidence.
fucking say it.
You want to just? How do I show it to her, Your Honor? Just
So
She has
here on my
access
phone.
to the
She has
docket.
access to the docket. So,
Oh,
Miss May,
okay.
if you could please refer to Defense's Exhibit B on the docket.
Anonymous, thank you the
If need help
5.
finding that, I can help point you to it.
Yeah, no, I can see it here.
Okay, perfect.
And do you see the reason for her termination?
Yeah, she was fired for having 2 government jobs at the same time. But this wasn't exactly the fully reason that was written down. It's just what was the blanket statement for the termination.
Wait, 2 government
About
jobs.
her attitude.
She wasn't in the mayor's office.
Yeah.
What?
Did you know of Miss Tilly Winters submitting an LOA to the SACD, or sorry, the San Andreas Central Dispatch Unit Department?
What?
She submitted an LOA. After her LOA, she did not return, as far as I know.
Understood. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, redirect.
No redirect.
Okay. Is Miss May marked for recall by the defense?
No,
Okay.
Nadia.
Oh, you think
Miss May,
so?
You're excused. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Nadia.
Hey.
Plaintiff's next witness.
What's good?
It's going all right.
Okay. The plaintiff calls Tilly Winters to stand.
All right, Miss Winters, come on up.
Boo.
Hi, honey.
Hi, baby.
That's
How you doing?
rude. Stop
Alright.
it.
They're on our side, Ray. I know, but
Stop it.
How you doing?
Okay.
Nice.
Not too bad.
Do I just stand here?
Yep, prefer to stand or sit, whatever you prefer, and raise your left arm up to the sky whenever you're ready. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony
Yo,
you are
lovely,
about
thank you
to
for the
give
100
is the
biddies.
truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury, so help you a lonely hawk?
Yes, I do.
All right, witness is so sworn in. You may proceed with questioning when you're ready.
Okay. Hi, Tilly.
Hi.
How long did you work for the police department?
I think it was around, as like a whole, like 5-6 months, roughly, maybe a little bit longer.
Okay. How many hours per day did you generally work?
Ugh. I was working quite a bit at that time, so roughly 7-8 hours a day.
How many days a week did you work?
Yo, lovely. Thank you again. Appreciate you.
Unfortunately, I think it was every day of the week.
Okay. Did you work with slacks often?
Yes.
How often would you work with them?
I'd say daily. I was around him quite often.
And why were you around him so often?
We were working on, I was helping him with the unit that he had at the time.
What unit was that?
God. Fuck. It was a, the name's passing me. It's, he had a detective unit.
Okay,
that
the
he was working
detective
with.
unit.
Yeah. The exact name, I
Um,
can't remember. It was some sort of initials.
Did they trust you with
I don't even remember what the
information,
fuck it was called like 6 months ago, dude.
regarding the detective unit?
Yes.
Okay. Was there ever any issues of trust?
Not that I was aware of, but obviously there was.
We'll come back to that. Around June 19th, was your phone or SIM card stolen?
Yes. My SIM card was stolen. I had 2 SIM cards that was stolen from me.
Okay. Do you know who stole them?
I can't recall.
Okay. How'd you get your SIM card back?
Oh, thank you for the train, guys.
I had reached out to. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure that I have like the moments right in my head.
That's fine.
Take your
This was
time.
a long time ago. This is in June, so I'm just trying to get my thoughts together. After I had my SIM card stolen, I was reaching out to by Miss Hazel Luna, who informed me that she would be returning my SIM cards.
Did she say how she would be returning them?
At that time, I don't believe so, but later she had told me I should return them.
Okay. How did you how were you notified when they were returned?
She had told me that she had given the SIM cards to Slack.
Did Slacks ever reach out to you about them?
Can you imagine? Yo, Lance, I'm in court right now. I'm in court. With your kid's
He
trial.
did
Come here. Yeah.
at
See you soon. See you soon.
he did at one point.
Okay. So what happened?
He had went through the
Oh
SIM
my
cards,
God.
and after he had already run
Holy
through the
fuck,
SIM
what if
cards, he
Flax
had then
bombs
reached
the
out to me to let
courthouse?
me know that he had my SIM cards.
Did you give him permission to go through your SIM cards at that
No.
time?
No, I did not.
Did he ever ask for permission?
No, he did not.
Yo, I just came to this realization. He's not in ICU. He
Did
hasn't
Slacks go
been.
through
Am
your
I
SIM card?
tripping? I don't think he's in ICU. He came out.
What up, Archie?
Slags had given my SIM card to Mr. Rika and had told him to go through it.
And did Mr. Riker go through your SIM?
Yes, he did.
Okay. How did you find this out?
I had gotten a call from Mr. Slacks, I believe.
He did
had
talk to
told
me.
he had
Okay,
my
that's
SIM
what I
card,
thought.
Asked me to come down to the police department. When I had came there, he had asked me. He said, due to the circumstances of what's going on, would you mind if we went through the SIM cards? In which I said, yeah, go ahead. I have no problem with that. He then decided to inform me that he had actually already started. And he started to laugh about it after we said it. He said, that's a good thing because we already did. And I had asked him to kind of elaborate on that. And I'd asked him how much like he had went through the phones. And he had responded and said he went through the first part of the phone. I didn't know what that meant. So I looked at Rika and I asked Rika what, like, you know, what, because he was looking at Rika at that time. And then Rika was getting very nervous next to him. I asked Rika how much of the phone he'd went through, in which Rika said, I'm trying to think of the exact wording Rika used. I can't remember the exact wording Rika used, but he began to laugh. He got very nervous about the entire thing. I asked Slacks if it was legal for them to do that. I was very uncomfortable at that point, so it was kind of like me using humor as like a defense mechanism, almost of being like, "Is that even legal?" And he said, "Well, you can take me to court,
That's bullshit.
you know, if you want to."
After this happened, did you work at the PD anymore?
I stopped coming into work.
Why? I
I was really uncomfortable. I felt like whenever it happens during the beginning, when it happened, I felt like I was kind of in like not really an understanding of the things that had happened. So I was trying to use humor to almost make it not an uncomfortable situation that it was. I'm very non-confrontational, so it wasn't really ideal for me. But I think as the days passed, I was starting to wrap my brain around the series of events that actually happened, and it made me feel really pardon my language. It made me feel really shitty. I just kept thinking, why would somebody who wants me in the police department, why would somebody who wants me there? At one point, Slacks had taken me into a back room when he started going through my phone, and he kind of just kept repeating, like, you understand why we're doing this, right? It's a trust thing. Like, if you want to be in the police department, you have to do this. Like, this is
Almost getting coached by a
it felt
Rainer
gross.
is crazy.
The entire thing felt
This
gross.
is crazy.
It made me really uncomfortable to go back and to think of how much farther they would have taken things. I felt very taken advantage of.
After this occurred, did you feel like it was a safe working environment?
No, it felt like a very toxic work environment. It felt like my coworkers would almost like turning against me in a way. I had felt like a strong sense of being pushed out of the police department. It was not comfortable for me to be there.
Are you worried it might happen again?
Yeah. Worried that it might happen again, and also just an overall sense of discomfort being there.
Did anyone ever apologize for what happened? Did anybody ever reach out to you after that happened?
No, I don't think so.
Did it feel like a hostile environment?
Yeah, it was. How do you come back from something like that? I don't know.
Who specifically made it feel hostile?
I would say Slacks did. Slacks and Rika and Maeve made me all feel a little hostile and uncomfortable.
Dude, this is so crazy hearing
Are you
this.
afraid to suit the PD over this?
Yes, I was afraid that I would face backlash.
Have you faced any backlash?
Well,
Harassment.
I would say I have in passing from the people I used to work with, but since I stopped going there, luckily, I kind of saved myself some peace.
That's good.
I wish Tilly was a little bit more dramatic
Okay,
here.
I'd say I get like remarks though, like remarks about it.
What kind of remarks?
Just like in passing, like I'll hear things about it, or I'll hear someone say something about it.
Be specific.
Like good comments, bad comments, neutral.
She asked a coach.
Yeah, I'd say it's like neutral.
No, man. Oh. So this is going to hurt, this testimony.
Okay. In June, at the time that this occurred, do you remember how much money you were making?
It doesn't matter if she can't remember, just lie about it. She remember. It needs to be more specific. Like, what does remarks mean? Ew, right? Versus, I don't know, implying I'm a criminal, implying I'm doing something illegal. You know? You need something. There's no way there. You need something more concrete.
This could be Marshall.
And if you don't remember, that's why you have to prep for the case.
No, that's the people's. So the Marshall report is in regards to the people versus Cohen Riker.
Right. Plaintiff Exhibit B, Tilly's bank statement, June.
Yeah, I gotta just find it. There's like 3 pages of.
Could be
on this
first
doc.
page of the docket, second to last post.
Thank you. Okay, Tilly, are these your bank records?
Hold on one moment, I'm bringing them up.
Yeah, you're good.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Are these records that you pulled for me? I think a few days before I submitted them to the docket. I don't remember
Yes, they
exactly what
are.
day. Okay. Do you see the areas highlighted in yellow?
I do.
Is that your government pay from working for the PD?
Yes, it is.
We're in a court
Just
case.
to confirm, the areas highlighted in red. What is that for?
It looks like it's for Group 6.
Okay. So
that was not the same
just
job.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so referencing the other tab, receptionist pay June 2024. If you want to take a moment, can you confirm, are these the wages from your PD pay that you received in June 2024?
Looks about right.
Okay. And
Jesus.
what's the total amount that you made in June?
$462,499.
And would this have been like an average sort of amount that you would have worked in June? Do you remember like how often you were working?
That looks about average, yeah. For the month of June, yeah.
Yo.
Okay. And going back to what you said before about your hours and work
Call
day
chunky, call
and the
chunky,
amount
call
that
chunky,
you
call
work,
chunky. We're gonna call
do you
chunky.
think that that applies to June?
Call chunky.
Could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Call him.
Going back to what you previously stated about the number of hours and days you worked per month, could you say that that applies to how much you worked in June?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh my god, dude.
I would like to reference Defense Exhibit
Bank
A.
truck.
Highlights later. Just go.
This is giving me deja vu.
Come on.
This is giving me deja
LOA,
vu, Ray.
I think, or I don't know exactly.
Bank
what this
truck,
is.
Nino.
I said.
But
$1,000 an hour.
were you moving around this time, Tilly?
Do you remember? Do you remember, bro? Like way back when? The meeting about like I forgot what it was. It was in the
Just
mansion.
The court, when you say this time, are you referencing June or the dates referenced?
There was a really important meeting, and Ray was like, "Bank truck."
Okay. Ms. Winters, was that your understanding? So in the exhibit, it says the LOA shows from July 9th to August.
Oh my god, I want to do bank trucks and boosts again, bro.
I understand. I was not moving.
You're not? Okay. Thank you.
Do you own a house, Tilly?
I do not own a house.
Did you ever own a house?
Objection, Your Honor. Weird. We all know what this document, is for, and if the reasoning was moving, I mean, we could sidebar if you want me to continue, but.
Fucking yabba dabba doo.
I don't know.
What?
I mean, we can just move on from it.
Yeah, just go ahead and move on. Yeah.
Okay.
Fucking yabba dabba doo.
Referencing
just say objection
exhibit.
weird?
Hold on. Defense Exhibit B. I think it's B. Actually, I don't want to reference that. I just want to ask a question. Why were you fired from the police department?
Yes.
Why were you fired?
I believe it was stated inactivity.
Like, what were you told?
I would have to go back and check. I'm pretty sure it was inactivity.
Okay. Did you ever discuss working for the mayor's office with your superiors?
I did not. They may have gotten that idea from the amount of time I was spending with Nino, but I do not believe that I had made them aware.
Okay.
I don't think
Trying to think
there
if I
was a
had
cabinet at
any
that
other
time.
Questions.
I'd have to look back at the specific dates to be sure on it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like... Hold on, let me think about how to phrase this. I'm just thinking about how to phrase this question. A
That's
moment.
fine.
Did the members of the PD look through your phone? Did they break your trust?
Yeah, they did. I think I had a lot of excitement at that point for working for the police department and working with Mr. Slacks and that unit that they were setting up. And it really, respect my language, just really fucking sucked to want to be a part of something so bad and then have this detective unit that you look up to completely shit on you. And I don't know. After that day, I didn't want to be a part of that fucking detective unit anymore. And it really had me look at all officers differently after that. It was like a sense of fear almost, and like, you know.
We didn't start
if
the
they can do this to
campaign
me, what
email
else can
chain
they
till
do?
the 29th.
Yeah, I don't think
Was it an
she was
invasion of
because they
privacy?
It was.
she
It was a huge
the claim was she got fired for working for two
It's like these are the
government
people that
agencies, but that's not possible because we
these are
weren't
the
in
people
office.
that I looked up to, who it felt like shit. It felt like these people had invaded my privacy and made me feel very small, if that makes any sense. I think my biggest worry wasn't even really necessarily about me, but I think I brought into a lot of concern of like, if not just me, then who else? If they're willing to do this to somebody who works in the police department, who's
Oh,
running
she's cooking
who's to
now.
say that they're not willing to do this to a civilian? I don't. I feel like it brought into a lot of question, a lot of things.
Titan, think of the 17 months.
Okay. I think I'm good with my questions.
Okay. Cross-examination.
Hey, Kit.
Hello, Miss Winters.
How you doing?
Can I just, for the court, can I just get clarification real quick? The sought loss of wages was 27 days at the time of the posting to the docket. So from the day the docket posting, 27 days prior as well, or 27 days within the docket posting and future.
Let Miss Archer answer that as to what her intent was with stating the initial the statement of claim.
I think it was from when she stopped working at the PD to when
What
I
text?
posted it on the docket, or like I think I posted it like 27 days after the incident. So that would have been the wages at that time.
So like this July 16th and then 27 days prior, including July 16th.
Yes.
All right, I just wanted clarification. I too am gonna now look at the wages evidence. I know there was a name for it, but there's been a lot of evidence. Do I have to say the evidence?
Believe
or-
Plaintiff's Exhibit A.
I think it's B.
B, you are correct. Plaintiff's Exhibit B, Tilly Winter's bank statement. It's the second to last post on the first page of the docket.
I'll be referring to that real quick. So as was previously stated, everything highlighted in yellow is your government pay from the PD, and everything highlighted in red was Group 6 pay. So throughout July, we've got a few statements here, highlighted in yellow, including one for $20,000 on July 26th. We got stuff highlighted July 13th, July 7th, June 28th, June 26th, June 22nd, June 21st. Ooh, June 21st, that was 80K. That's a good one. I guess that's including the whole month of June. I mean, 27 days prior to July 16th, I think would have been June 19th. So
Bruce, I do need you to ask a question, please.
okay. Prior to July, 27 days prior to July 16th, did you receive any pay from the police department?
I'm sorry, repeat your question?
27 days prior to July 16th, 2024, did you receive any pay from the police department?
Prior to July?
July 16th, what is being sought for the loss of wages was 27 days up to July 16th on the docket.
When did you become mayor?
I'm pretty
Are
I'll
you
Officially
asking her
check.
if
elected
during
in
those
on the
27 days she
19th.
got paid
Yeah,
by the PT?
the statement by the
yes.
dispatcher I don't think is accurate because we
No,
weren't
no,
in
no.
office.
I'm not asking about that. Was she employed by you when you got hired when you became
I'm
mayor?
sorry. I feel like I don't know.
I
Why
can
I'm
tell
having
you
a
when
hard
she
time
officially went in. One
processing
sec.
the
So,
question.
so during the 27 days for which you're claiming lost wages, were you
Yes.
paid by the police department during those 27 days?
No, I was not.
722
Well, hold on now.
Ca-
Because if everything highlighted in yellow
722
is PD pay,
is when she got keys.
then there's records of you
722?
being paid
Mhm.
Okay, easy.
during that time. Is there not?
Which days are you talking about? I may not be understanding your question.
So 27 days from July 16th would be June 19th, 2024, up to July 16th, 2024.
Oh no, he's gonna make a dumbass argument.
Unfortunately, bank subpoena I tried to submit never got overlooked by a judge. But I did have the days.
Yeah, there
prior to
is no employment.
Correct.
That's like saying
For
like,
the
yo, vote Trump. Oh wait, I work for
sorry.
Trump now. You know what I mean?
So
Is
you
he kinda
filed the
trying to
subpoena
say-
the
Actually,
day
it's not
before.
exactly like that, but you get what I mean.
When was that?
That would have been, I signed it September 27th.
What's the warrant number?
That would be 12960. I'll rephrase the question one
Yeah,
more
go ahead.
time. Between the dates of June 19th, 2024 and July 16th,
It was July
2024, which would be
22nd, is that
27
right?
days,
That
as
is when she
mentioned on the
officially got
docket, Did
keys.
you receive any PD pay?
I mean, they still owe her wages. It doesn't mean she worked between those two dates.
According to this docket, it looks like yes.
And as per your hours and the days that you work that Kid asked you about, do you have like a schedule or anything, a set schedule that would corroborate with the amount of days and hours you work?
Do I have a set schedule?
Yeah, that would corroborate the amount of hours you would have worked.
I do have shifts. Yes.
Can you present that?
Objection. Facts not in evidence.
Well, she said yes, that it's factual.
Well, she answered before I could object.
Then if my rebuttal.
So he's
to that-
asking if records exist that would demonstrate the days hours worked. She said that she did have shifts. She can testify as to whether or not she can produce records to verify that or not. If she can't, then she simply say that she can't. It'll be overruled. You can answer the question, Ms. Winters.
What is the question?
Do you have records of your shifts that you could produce?
No.
Okay. I do. First off, I do apologize for the trust that was broken and how you felt towards Slacks and Riker. I believe this was asked, but I'm going to re-ask it just in case. Did you ever give verbal consent to Slacks or Riker to look through your SIM cards?
No.
Okay.
I
would-
did. I'm sorry. Yes, I did at one point.
You did at one point.
Yes, I had done it after
Not to Riker though. Not to Riker.
they had asked me to go through my phone. I had said yes, and they had then informed me that they had already went through my phone. My apologies.
So it's kind of like one of those, you know, ask for forgiveness later. one of those
Objection.
situations.
Counsel is testifying.
Yeah,
Sorry.
go ahead and ask a question, Bruce, please. That'll be sustained.
He can't possibly be using
So
that
you're fired
reasoning.
for inactivity?
Yes.
The kid has to use the prosecution evidence.
And
Riker admits it in the documents.
were you working for the mayor at that time during your inactivity? I can rephrase. Before you were fired from your receptionist position, were you working for the mayor?
I don't believe I had a title to a certain point, but at one point I was working for the mayor. Yes.
Wait, but that's not true though.
I'll clear it up. I'll clear
Okay.
it up.
Sorry, I'm just thinking if there's any further questions I have. Let me check my notes. Let's see here. Nope. You know what? I think that'll do it. Thank you, Miss Winterson. I'm sorry.
All right.
No further
redirect.
questions.
Okay. Hi, Tilly.
Hi.
Hi. Just confirm. Do you remember your last date at the PD?
My last day, like the actual day.
Yeah. Was it around the time of the incident?
Yes, it was. It was within a day or two of the incident.
Okay. Do you remember the day you started working for Nino?
So like the day I started working for Nino was the day that he became the mayor.
Yeah, like
Before then, I was
officially
not working for him.
when
I was
you
just-
got your keys.
Yeah. Are you asking me what date that is?
Yeah.
The exact date? Ah, fuck.
Was it around June 22nd or July 22nd?
Yeah, it would have had to have been.
Okay.
It's 3 months ago.
Okay. Referring back to the
Oh, and before Nino gets
plaintiff Exhibit
impeached,
B,
like, oh my
your
God, he's
records.
asking for terrorism.
Did you in June, did you have two
That guy's on his
government jobs?
MDT seeing if a charge exists.
In June? No. I did not.
In July, did you have two government jobs?
Voltice? Voltice if I'm reelected.
I believe I had been working for Nino after the 27th of July.
The 22nd or 27th?
I apologize. I feel like I wish I knew like exact dates. It
That's okay. Your government pay towards the end of July, was that for your job within the PD, or was that for your payment from the mayor's office? If you don't know, that's okay too.
At the end of July, it was the mayor's office.
So July 26th, July 27th, that was that from the mayor's office?
Yes.
Okay. As well as July 28th.
Yes, I believe so as well.
Okay, thank you. Let me see if there's any other questions that I have. Yeah, there's one more. So for the damages sought for the 27 days after you stopped working at
Has
the
the hostage
PD,
been shot more by the cops than the people?
were
that-
you working at the mayor's office during that time? Up until okay, thank you.
I was not. I was not working at the mayor's office.
So you didn't have any other form of income at that time?
Except for, you know, unemployment? No.
What the fuck? As a hostage,
like
I've
you
been
did
shot
some
more by the
group
cops
6,
than
is
people
that
actually
correct?
took me hostage.
I also did some
What the
group 6 as well.
fuck?
My apologies.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I think that clears that up. No further questions.
Do I could ask another question or no? Am I done?
No, you can mark her for
Hold
recall
on, sorry, I'm
if
late.
you wish to call her back as a witness on your side.
Oh, no. Oh, she not marked for recall.
Okay. You said she's not marked for recall. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Miss Winters, you may be excused then. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Any additional witnesses from the plaintiff?
Yeah, Coyote is here.
Easy. Coyote, come on up.
Sorry, the plane was late from Mexico.
That's okay. You're here in time for your testimony, and that's all you need to be here for, so you're good.
I'm really thirsty. Can someone give me something to drink in?
Yeah, I got you up here.
Hey, Cassidy, ¿qué pasa, güey?
Coyote, it's nice to see you, bro.
I don't know. Like, God, this is so
Go ahead and get
long ago.
comfortable. As
So
soon
hard
as
for
you're
me
ready,
to
raise your left arm up
recall
to the sky
dates
for
and
me.
shit.
Do members of PD committed gross human rights violation prior to being hired and
Alrighty.
PD was
Do you swear
aware?
an
Horrifies
affirmative
me.
testimony you were about to give is the truth, the whole
Please
truth, and
contact
nothing
me
but
as
the
well.
truth under the pain
Please
and penalties of
contact
perjury,
me
so
as
help you
well.
God.
I'd like to
No.
hear more.
What?
No, I'm kidding. Yes. See.
What the fuck? Wait! Holy shit!
Hi, Coyote. Hope you're
Hola.
well.
What the
Hi.
fuck?
Do you remember
What?
when you were kidnapped back in June?
Sí.
Do you remember who kidnapped you?
Sí.
Who kidnapped you?
The really bald, ugly one, Mr. K.
Okay.
And his gang.
What gang is that?
I think Rami was there and the other minions. I don't remember their names. I believe they are called CE.
And did you say CG?
Sí, CE.
Okay. Was anyone else kidnapped with you?
Sí.
Who was that?
Tilly Binter.
Okay. Until he's here today?
Sí.
Did they steal anything from you when they kidnapped you?
Sí. They took everything.
They took everything?
Sí.
Can you expand a little bit on that?
Well, I went off duty to go talk to Tilly because she was in a mood. And I had to put all my stuff away, as is the custom for, officers. So the
CE.
only thing I had on me when I left was my
CD.
telefono, and I think that was it. Just my telefono, maybe a ID as well. And I recall when they let us go, I didn't have my telefono because there was no way for us to contact Policia. We had to run to the humane lab and ask the security guard there to dial 911 for us.
Sorry that happened. Do you remember if anything was stolen from Tilly?
Sí, they took her telefono.
Okay. Do you remember when Tilly got her SIM card back?
Sí.
What happened?
Well, I
Oh, wait,
remember that
Devin's right behind
when
me?
they let us go, it was really strange because they didn't hurt us. And it was led to understand that Tilly at least would get her telefono back.
Oh, that
So the following day, I
Devin.
remember her in the hallway. She was like in a really happy mood. She had just gotten a call from Hazel, I think, saying, "Hey, we're going to get your phone back." So, Officer Slack, were you going to go in, pick it up? I remember because I thought, oh, it would be nice to have mine back, but I never got mine back.
I'm sorry to hear that. Did to your knowledge, did Tilly get her SIM card back?
She, naturally, she got her SIM card back eventually. But she didn't get it direct. It was drop off, and then Officer Slack picked it up with 2 other officers, I believe. And then eventually it made its way back to her after it was like looked through.
They looked through her phone.
They even asked for permission.
Do you know, did they get that permission before they
Gross.
looked through it?
Bunch of question why those
Really
above them
peculiar because they
never
went to her and
maintained
asked her, "Can we look through it?" And she
oversight.
said, "Sure." And then they said, "Oh, that's okay.
Or
We've
worse.
been looking through it with like a twinkle in the eye."
Did Tilly ever talk to you about this incident after it occurred?
Well, she, of course, because
I mistyped
it
there,
was
but
a
it's
unique
good enough.
experience to be kidnapped, to be taken, and then for them to give the stuff back. It was even more peculiar that they went to ask her, if they can look through it, and they say, "See," but they already looked through it. And I remember when she was distraught, and I thought it was strange too because I went and confronted immediately as the first opportunity I had Officer Riker to ask him why they did it. I even talked to Officer Slack eventually why they did it.
Did they tell you why they did it?
See, I even got apologies for doing it.
They apologized.
See.
Did
Or
they
at least
think,
Riker did.
Did they think they had done something wrong?
See, well, like, the telephone was in the hands of really bad people for like 24 hours. So it would be reasonable to assume that the phone was used for nefarious purposes. So it would make sense before returning the telephone to look through it to see if it was used in that span of time. So they looked through it initially, and then Slack said, "Stop that. I don't think I don't think we should look through it unless we have permission first. I think this is a breach." So he said, "Hey, Riker, go ask for permission." So Riker go ask for permission. Tilly naturally says, "See." And he said, "Well, we already looked through it." And I remember that, it's not a nice feeling. So she was upset at that, and then I confronted him about it. I said, "Why? Like, if you're suspecting something, there's proper channels to do it. You have, there's means of doing that legally. You have to do a subpoena and all that stuff, and then you can look through it if there is a proper suspicion. But you just willy-nilly get it and start skimming." I tell you what, I recall it's because they say that we looked through it because we needed to ascertain if it was her telephone. I recall that was what annoyed me because I knew that the telephone number is written on the SIM card. Before you put it in, you can read the number. It's on there. It's imprinted on it. I recall that was it. That was what was frustrating me, because I knew they could have just looked through it. I mean, they could have looked at it to ascertain it's her number. They all had Tilly's number. It's on the record, and they frequently calling her. She's a receptionist. Her and Slack had a on talking terms. So I say there's obviously another reason you're looking through it, because it's easy to look at the numero. And it was then after a prolonged conversation that eventually, sorry, it wasn't right. And I remember saying, don't say sorry to me, go say sorry to her.
Okay.
Sorry, it was a long time ago. So a lot has happened since then.
Thank you. Did
Oh shit, we just went viral.
do you know if Tilly ever worked at the PD after that?
I think she still had a job, but listen, people are looking through your phone and suspecting you and stuff and make you feel a certain way. I think it was kind of the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
But she was still there. She was still performing her duty, I recall, because she assisted me. She was continuously assisting me with stuff as well.
When was that?
What do you mean?
When did she help you?
Well, she was in the, she worked in the PD, so there were things that she would help with. Like when my tummy would rumble, she would bring me food and drink. And then on more important matters, she has a really good logistical mind, so she assisted us with like organizing things and making good like lists and working out on transcripts, etc., etc.
Okay.
See?
Do you, just to confirm, after they looked through her SIM card, did Tilly still worked at the PD?
See.
Do you know how long?
It could have been a week, could have been 3 weeks, could have been a month, could have been a month and a half. I don't really recall.
You don't. Okay. Okay.
See, there was like a good amount of time she was still working there.
Okay. But you don't recall exactly.
No, sorry, long time ago.
Was this like was Tilly always clocked in when this happened, or?
Objection, Your Honor.
I don't understand the question.
What's the grounds of the objection?
Is it narrative? No, not narrative. What's the one where it's... Sorry, Your Honor, I've been up for 72 hours.
Right. What's the reason that? What's your issue with it? I'll point you in the direction.
Just forget it, Your Honor. If I can't do it, I shouldn't be able to do it.
Okay.
There is an objection, though. I wanted to be noted on the record. I wanted to object, but I just couldn't.
Good job, Bruce.
What is your concern?
What the fuck?
Oh, it was speculation. That's the one.
All right.
What the?
How is this not speculation?
Bruh. What? I wanted to. What?
Because I think he would know if she was clocked in or not. He can see dispatch.
Given he has access to dispatch, he would be on dispatch if she was clocked in. I'll let him answer if he has the personal knowledge. If he does not know, he can state that he does not know. Okay? So it'll be overruled.
Can we restate the question?
After the incident, when Tilly was working with you, was she on duty or off duty during this time?
She was like the incident happened and she was still an employee as far as I recall. So there was times, she would go off duty, but there was times that she would be on duty. She was still very much an employee of the Los Santos Police Department.
Okay. All right, I think that's all the questions I have right now. Thank you.
All right, cross-examination.
Hello, Coyote.
I don't know. I mean, I can try to
You stated your SIM
deal
card
with
was also
that in
stolen, and
closing.
you were employed at this time with the police department.
See.
Can you recall any legislation that was in place that had any
Are you sure you didn't work
thing to
at
do with
all?
SIM cards, being against rights to look through SIM cards?
Well, I actually,
Doesn't
did a little
like
digging
because
myself,
providers
as is
not
my
working?
nature, and I
I'm back.
called up a lawyer
There are
a few
What
hours ago,
happened?
I think, and I
government
asked him,
pays
hey,
in
if I come
July.
across a SIM card, am I
Are
legally
those
as a police
very
officer?
low
Is there
compared to
any
the other ones?
law on that? Like, and they cited a
Yeah,
recent
And those
case.
are just
but-
I
unemployment.
don't remember which it was. That
Oh, it's
I
unemployment.
think it was ruled that you're not supposed to look through it. I don't recall the actual like statute
double
for
check
it,
it,
but
hold
I do know like a policia, if you want to look in someone's record, you have to file a subpoena.
Check Delver's
I filed
tweet.
many subpoenas, and it has to get approved by a superior. Has to be signed off. It then goes into a judge's hands, and then the justice has to sign off on it, and then and only then are you granted.
There's been a
access to
serial
the proof.
stalking me
And even
before
then
he
it's for a very
became
limited scope.
a
So
police
you have to be
officer.
very careful in stating.
You stated you were employed and you brought up superiors. Do you always listen to your superiors?
Well, not really. If it's an order, I will listen. But if they, just rambling, talking about nonsense, then I probably tune out.
But if a superior gave you an order, you would.
Yeah, I mean, just because she worked after the incident doesn't matter.
Well, if it was a lawful order, she,
with
if
that
they asked me to go
LOA
kill
thing. I mean,
someone
they
for no reason.
entered that
Yeah,
in
that doesn't mean that doesn't change anything.
No further
Ooh,
questions, Your Honor.
yeah, like so. What do you mean? He said she was deployed after, which is true. Yeah. Why would that affect
All right,
anything?
and you redirect.
No redirect.
If something happens to you at
Is
work,
Coyote marked for
then you
recall
show up
by
the next day. That doesn't mean nothing happened to you the day before.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Coyote, you're excused.
You know
Thank
what I
you for
mean?
your time today.
Okay, that's it.
Yep,
Ándale.
that's all. Thank you.
I see.
Any additional witnesses from the plaintiff?
Love you.
Did Slack show
Thank
up
you,
by any chance?
Coyote. Thank you for coming, Coyote.
I don't believe so. Is Leonardo Slacks in the courtroom?
I think
Hearing
he's in a
none,
bunker
I don't
somewhere.
believe- I don't believe so.
You said he wasn't gonna come, so I'm
Yeah,
not
he
sure we'd
made
even
pretty clear
recognize him if
wasn't
he was
going to
here.
appear. Yeah. All right, sorry. Did the plaintiff have any more witnesses? My apologies, I didn't hear your response.
No. Do you want me to highlight evidence now or wait till the very end?
We'll save for closings.
Okay. Plaintiff rests then.
All right, very good. Apologies from the court. We'll enter a brief recess till 45 past the hour. Just need to deal with it.
Well, hold on, Your Honor. I had a witness.
Well, is it a brief recess till 45
Oh,
past the hour, and
sorry.
then we'll continue with the
Sorry,
defense's case. in 45
sorry,
just need a
Your
couple
Honor.
minutes.
We're
Sorry,
all
Your
of them.
Honor. That's on me. I take.
No.
You know what?
Wait.
I don't want my witness anymore.
What
I don't want.
We'll be
Man,
back
Bruce is
momentarily.
pumped.
Give me about 7 minutes. We'll get
Damn.
45 past the
Yes,
hour.
Your
We'll
Honor.
continue, okay? Court is in recess till then.
I want to have cases.
Yeah, I want to have a case against Bruce too. I need to pad my stat. I was yelling that.
Okay, I was told
Thank
that
you so much.
he's one of their best. So like, I'm
Listen,
very.
He's not bad.
dumbstruck.
He was just fucking right.
Just because you put gold on a piece of shit doesn't make it gold.
No, I know, but
He-
even from yesterday too, I'm just
No,
really.
I think
Don't
he's.
show up. Don't you just win?
I think he has
No,
a lot
but
on his plate right now, and he's juggling a ton of different things.
Mm,
Yeah, he's not doing bad. We're
this-
just being assholes.
Yeah.
I got you.
He was technically being asked.
I think he's doing really well. He has he had the whole thing yesterday, and then he has this, and then he has 2 other cases for BCSO. I told him that make sure you're pacing yourself because
Mm.
he has a lot. They're putting it all on him, and I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
You got fooled.
Yeah, this one's kind of an impossible task either, because I mean, with the prosecution case, he really doesn't have much to go off of.
I mean, you settle.
Yeah, that's what they should have done.
Yeah. If I was them, I would have settled and then sued Slacks, and by him Slacks not showing up, they would have won automatically.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, because
then maybe Riker and Slack.
Slacks is
Well,
apparently in a bunker somewhere preparing for doomsday.
I feel like strategically it'd be easier to sue Slacks given that he was the commanding
yeah, I was
officer.
gonna reference that, Tony.
Oh. I mean, Riker admitted to doing it himself, though. That's the thing. He admitted
Yeah, but
on
it's
record
under
to
the
Bell.
command of Slacks. It's kind of like if like an army went into a village and their commanding officer said open fire. Yes, you can not do it, but let's say you did do it. Well, you may be charged for it. The individual making the charge. I mean, if it wasn't obvious, right? Like, open fire on this thing, and it turns out the building's like filled with civilians. Is that guy at the top that's gonna get hit the hardest?
It's like the Avengers. You always go for the head.
Yep, exactly. Yo, Twitter's fucking crazy. What the fuck? How there needs to be a way to maintain a higher level of accountability. Like, just some of these stories are like blowing my mind.
Oh, yeah, no, people don't give a fuck on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, someone's saying that they got shot by the cops more than criminals, like while being taken hostage.
That's me back here.
Wait, that was you? So
Yeah.
what happened to you?
It's unfortunately I'm kind of like professional hostage, and I don't piss people off, so I usually don't get shot by the fucking people that have guns pointed at me constantly. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I get a few times they breached and shot me in the process.
Why did the breach take place?
I have no fucking clue, brother.
Bro,
I was more pissed about the bullets in me at the moment.
May I ask, why not sue the police? Is it too much of an uphill battle, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I deal with anxiety issues, so the less shit I have to deal with that shit,
I have an idea. The Civilian Oversight Committee was useless because, well, for a number of reasons. Moulton disappeared, and fucking Murphy Braun was fucking useless as well. And so what if a number of lawyers were retained by the city, and their main and priority was for handling those cases?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's so much shit that I hear. Here's the issue, right? Right now, like whether we're talking about impeachments or whether we're talking, a lot of cops do a lot of brain dead shit, just straight up, and they justify it because they're like, "Oh, but crime is happening," right? But fundamentally, where they get lost in the sauces, they're protecting a bunch of locals' money, and so any civilians that get hurt along the way, like probably just now, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But for a civilian to get any form of recourse, you have a lot of barriers. Number one, you have to get a lawyer. Number two, that lawyer then needs to go through the process of getting a FOIA, which in and of itself is fucking dog shit, even after some of the changes. And then they have to file to the docket. And then, like in the case of Tilly, it can take 4 months until there's like restitution. And by then, the main the restitution right now is monetary, but the second part of the restitution, which would be like what's the word called, someone gets suspended or fired, 4 months later cops aren't going to give a shit, and over those 4 months those officers are probably continuing to do these idiotic things knowing no one's going to hit them. But if you get a bunch of lawyers to just fucking, that is their job, and you start fucking slamming cases up, I feel like that may actually change things. I don't know. I'm just kind of cooking off the top of the dome right now.
Right. Definitely understand.
I mean, he's not wrong. After 4 months, the cops could just say, "Oh, look, he's doing just fine."
Oh, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Shit that you dealt with in that 4 months getting to that point is still a fucking thing that you went through, So.
Mm-hmm. Like Rika
Marshals
literally got Wait a minute. Can I point out that there's only 2 cops in uniform over there, and that was a lot more than 2 cops' beeps going off.
I see 3.
You see 3?
We got the
LSPD cops.
5
Oh, yeah,
actually
yeah,
no,
yeah.
like 5. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, 2 BCSO, 3
Yeah, so
LSPD.
I actually blanked out on the
Like,
BCSO.
Yep. Fuck was it? Rika, for example, he apparently got what is it called? The thing where your felony goes away?
The diversion program?
Yeah,
The one they
like
did
that
behind our backs?
same exactly, like, bro, what the fuck? So he went for the diversion program and he just got it, and all they did is ask a marshal. What fucking horseshit is that? Yeah.
They'd even asked the prosecution. You want to know why? Because they didn't ask me or Robin for our input on it. They went behind our backs,
Yeah.
talked to the judge, and then asked a random marshal who wasn't part of the prosecution at all.
Right.
They didn't talk to Angel. They talked to Dukakis, who at no point showed up during the entire process.
The caucus is a fucking moron. So, fuck her.
And without any sort of input or anything, or context, she's like, "Yeah, we'll give him the diversion program."
Yeah, like why? Like
We're, just waiting
she's
for Mr.
not
Winters to
a
return.
damaged body. You know what I mean? Imagine you burn a fucking home, like a home down with like a family inside, and then you're like, let me ask a random person if, like, you know, the public, the people have forgiven them. Fuck out of here. Yo, that is. Do you know? Is it within the first month? You got diverted?
Yes.
Bruh.
Because it wasn't long after the case where Rob and I noticed that it was gone. Because we expected them to ask for the diversion program, but they never asked for it in front of us.
Wait, they gave him a diversion program for a month?
In less than a month, yeah.
Less than a month after the charge.
So he
for felony for evidence tampering.
So this is the officer that went through Tilly's phone and hid it from the rest of the. Well, I don't even think he hid it from the police department. I think they just didn't give a fuck that her rights were violated. But after it was going up to court, he altered all his statements to make him and his partner and Slacks look good.
Yep.
So
no, he didn't even make Slacks look good. They were trying to throw it on Slacks. They were gonna make Slacks fall on the sword because Slacks was in ICU.
Yo,
There's like,
that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, Slacks couldn't defend himself.
I'm surprised he's not fired, honestly.
Hello.
Yeah, I wish I could say I was surprised by that.
Yo, that is cooked.
Did you take a picture of your report?
If the parties are ready to proceed, then I'll go ahead and have the defense start with their case in chief when you're ready.
Okay.
Sorry, can you repeat that, Your Honor? I apologize.
Oh, if all parties are ready to proceed, then I'll have the defense start with your case in chief when you're ready. You may call your first witness.
The defense has decided to not call Ruby York as a witness.
Okay. So you don't have any witnesses to present then?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. If that is the case and the defense is resting their case in chief, then we'll move into closing arguments. Are you guys ready to proceed with closing arguments, or do you need another moment?
Well, I do like to wing it, Your Honor. I just need at least 1 minute and 30 seconds, if that's okay.
Sure. We'll take till 50 past the hour. That's no problem.
Thank you, Your Honor.
If you need more than that, let us know, because I don't mind giving you like 5-10 minutes to do your closing. That's not a big deal.
2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, you're good.
That's so cooked. I love our plan of writing county-based legislation that can be upgraded to state legislation. So effectively a mini government. Oh, it's gonna be juicy. Yo, that's crazy, man. But I heard the Riker thing because, like, look, I think I'll tell you where I think Riker got screwed. Riker's, I'm talking OOC, not in character. In character, Nino's like, fuck Riker, right? But OOC, it's kind of shitty for the person that plays Riker. Because, like, yeah, he did something.
I'm feeling okay.
But, like, the moment anything goes on for more than a month, it's, like, cooked.
Just have to
right?
see what gets highlighted during the closing.
Because now it's, like, unreasonable of a overhead on any party, whether you're a criminal, whether you're a cop, whatever. RP storylines move too quick, and legitimately, like, what, 5% really focus on anything that is long term? You know what I mean? Like, look at it. Like, you've got criminals that become cops nowadays, which I think is fucking wild, right? Like, I like Alana, the character, but it's wild that, like, she's a cop. Right? In my mind, right? You got, well, actually, maybe not. I don't know how long ago her crimes were, but there's, like, you know, it's strange for folks. But the thing is, like, yeah, Riker did something wrong, but the moment it takes too long, it's kind of crazy. I don't necessarily, based on the egregiousness, like, yeah, he should have been screwed, but the problem is that when it takes this long, I look at it like this. There is no shot that those who had oversight over the department did not know what Riker, Maeve, and Slacks did. And due to the fact that they had zero inaction and looked the other way, there's more guilt on them, and they are directly responsible for what ended up happening to Riker. And, but equally, for a police officer to get diverted over such extreme corruption is crazy.
He's basking. He's basking. Wow, what a guy.
I want to read what that diversion program says. And this is my problem with it. And this is where, like, people get lost in the sauce of, like, where I feel like the argument is like, Nino doesn't read this. Da 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 da. Suck my dick. The fact of the matter is that when it's convenient, the law is
Talk about the people.
maliciously read and interpreted in a way
Hey Bruce,
where
it's been longer than 2 minutes.
people hand wave, right?
Sorry.
Things get like hand wave. Yeah, not reading. That's most retarded take ever.
Listen, for once,
Like
Bruce is
hand wave
underestimating how long it's gonna
excuses.
take him.
You know what I mean?
We'll give him a couple more minutes.
And like
Proud of him.
word definitions get extremely stretched, right? But if they're a criminal or not in the Brady Bunch, it's like, you know, it's like, oh, you crossed, you know, it's the opposite. It's crazy. And it's super fucking blatant to anybody. It's fucking wild, man. It's crazy.
Nice. Oh my god.
All right, Bruce, you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. Miss Archer, you may proceed with your closing argument when you're ready.
Okay. All right. Hi, guys.
Based on discretion.
Your
I
Honor,
wonder who gave the
they referred
discretion.
through testimony how Miss Tilly Winters' rights Our right to privacy and right to dignity was violated by members of the BCSO and LSPD. This rights violation is also corroborated within the verdict of the people
Wait,
versus
and the
Cohen
process.
Riker.
Both the.
Miss Tilly Winters was absolutely mistreated by the PD. Her phone was
Oh,
unlawfully
because
read,
Pred got
even though by
removed.
her own testimony, she would have been happy to let them check her phone
My
if they had just asked
God.
beforehand. Miss Winters
Because
felt that
Pred
the
got
PD was a
fired, he
hostile
wasn't
work
the
environment.
prosecutor.
She was afraid to go back
Face
to
palm.
work and afraid of retaliation from
That's
her
wild.
coworkers. Through the plaintiff's Exhibit B, you will see her average wages for the month of June. In July, you will see 2 sets of wages mid-July from unemployment, and then her wages from the mayor's office at the end of July. Based on the evidence provided today, as well as the evidence provided in the People versus Cohen Riker, we ask that all punitive damages and lost wages be awarded to the plaintiff to hold the BCSO and LSPD accountable for this terrible rights violation against Miss Winters. The violation didn't just occur to any random citizen, but a member of the police department. What other rights violations might occur if the PD isn't held accountable today for their actions? While searching through her phone only took a moment of these officers' time, the damage that was caused to Miss Winters and the mistrust within the system and the PD will remain with her for the rest of her life. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Archer. Defense closing when you're ready.
I hope you all like The Lord of the Rings.
Never seen.
Hello again, Your Honor and people of the court. Today we have heard of the things Riker and Slacks have done against the prosecution. 2 people who no longer are even employed with the police departments. We heard of Riker, someone who was fired, touching a SIM card on the orders of a command member, Slacks, and then stopping themselves once they realized it could be illegal. We heard the prosecution gave consent for the SIM card to be looked through after it was recovered from being stolen from them. We also have heard as to why Miss Winters did in fact have access to her job, and for Coyote's testimony and Plaintiff Exhibit B still worked and was getting paid after the SIM card incident. Within 4 days of the incident, she got nearly $80,000, clearly showing that she was comfortable enough to continue working. When she decided to not show up or share with her employers other than an LOA, she began working for another side of the government with the mayor, as well as Group 6, and was collecting quote-unquote unemployment as stated by Miss Winters. That inherently led to her being let go on July 29th, 2024, as per evidence the defense's Exhibit B by the San Andreas Central Dispatch. Ms. Winters also was noted by her employers at the time that she would be on an LOA from July 9th, 2024 to August 10th, 2024. As was stated by the prosecution, there are dates within the damages sought that she got paid by the PD, as it is highlighted in yellow. While she may have had her SIM cards touched briefly between members of the police department, as stated in evidence from report 8296 at the time, they quickly were in contact with a lawyer, and then Ms. Winters did consent.
Yeah.
There's nothing plain of the defense that the damages sought are exorbitant and done in bad faith with the evidence of her employment status and the testimony heard today of the extremity of what was done with the SIM cards. The people involved are no longer with us and have been handled internally. If there's Riker and Slacks that did anything to violate Miss Winters' rights, they should be the ones being sought after, not the people that took action to correct it.
They didn't. The fucking marshals did. What do you mean?
The marshals took action.
Yeah,
the marshals took action.
Just really quickly, are we able to highlight evidence?
Sure. Typically, I'd have you do that in your closing, but if there's a particular piece of evidence you'd like
The
me to
opposite
pay
happened.
special attention to, you can point me.
The marshals had decree to get that shit done.
I just wanted to highlight basically just kind of all the evidence I submitted. Specifically,
everything will be considered. But it's gonna take me a moment for deliberations here. I suspect at least 20 minutes. Court will be in recess till then, and I'll put out a little announcement about 5 minutes before I come read the verdict, so you all don't have to stand here while waiting for me.
All right, thank you.
All right, the court is in recess.
What?
Hey, Finley. Hey, Finley. Hey, you got food? Hey, Paulus, you got food?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yo, that was fucking wild, that fucking testimony. I mean, that closing. Jesus fucking Christ.
Trolling, that's what my
Holy
tail card
fucking
said.
shit.
Take some food up for me.
I can't believe that.
Thank
you're
you.
saying that
I
they-
just,
Thank
I,
you.
wages that are so owed to you is tantamount to working.
I'll
Well-
get you
after the
food,
fact. It's just
Cricket.
like,
Thank you, Alan.
Well, half of it was untrue. It was the marshals that corrected it. Individuals that are still in positions of high command and command had oversight over it. Just because someone under your command, if someone under your command does some wild shit, it is your job. It is your duty to correct it. There's no fucking shot if this thing went.
Cassidy and Bones were the sheriff and undersheriff when all this happened.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah, and it's
it's
like
under them.
you don't get to be like, oh, but they
This
did it.
ain't
They
church,
worked for
bitch.
you.
I'ma cuss how the fuck I
There
want
is
to.
no way people didn't know about
They
what
say
happened
not
to
the
Tilly.
Lord of the house, baby.
They had an opportunity to do an internal inquiry, find out about it, bring it to the light of day, prosecute themselves. But am I not wrong in saying that it was Pred that ended up
yep, Pred
taking
was the one
action?
that-
Yep.
That's crazy.
That entire case was built by Pred.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, me and Robin just took the last hit.
That's, oh my Lord, have mercy.
Oh gosh.
Pred fucked that guy up so much he went to his own command to admit he did it, and then the marshals pulled that report, and then we just collected.
Is there a recording or statements on the bench? It should be in evidence. Like, I want to know how this guy got a diversion program. Who is the judge?
Oh, I believe Waste was the one that oversaw it. Usually the judge that goes through that verdict is. Yeah.
I feel like I could have done better up there.
That's insane.
For somebody that's been kept in limbo for 4 months, Tilly, you did wonderful.
Yeah,
I get really fucking nervous when I'm answering questions, even if they're like.
We should contest the diversion program and require that if there is a victim, that it requires a what is it called? A victim. What is it called? Not a victim testimony. Impact statement. Yes. Yeah, because like the way, like, listen, I fuck with the diversion program, but it's very fucking obvious, and this is the problem. Look, I'm gonna chop it up. This is what I've been cooking on this entire time. It's that when the law is convenient for the parties in power, they will stretch every word in the vocabulary and every sentence to argue that this shit is allowed. But the moment you are not a member of the PD or whatever fucking whatever, it's like the opposite occurs. You know what I mean? It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking rotten. And the only way to self-correct it is to expand on the verbiage. You know?
In the time I've been a lawyer, there's been 2 instances, both
Bye,
for the
Mr.
cops, where
Cassidy.
the cops can do this because it wasn't said in legislation that they can't do it. I believe that was the Suarez
But,
legislation that
sure.
we got on there. That's why they had to create it. So they let the cop off easy on that. And then there was another one where they said that I forgot what it was. There was basically both versions, but like 2 different cases. I forgot what the first one, but the second one's the Suarez one that we got on there.
Let me give you an example, right? Like if you open up the first-time felony diversion program, it states under details and implementation that the defendant is a first-time felon and verify eligibility based on discretion, right?
Yes.
The way that this sentence reads is, hey, we're going to write it this way because we trust people to use their fucking brain and have a limited amount of like ethical understanding, like moral compass to make the right decision. But it's very clear time and time again that does not exist. So you need
Especially with-
parameters in place that like, you know, keep motherfuckers in line.
Yeah. Well, the shitty part is that like the way this evidence tampering was like conducted, it is a very, very special path he took to commit this crime. It's
Oh,
not like
yeah.
some weed dealer throwing weed out their car or anything
No.
like that to do evidence tampering.
Yeah.
He abused special
He-
privileges that only
yeah.
a few are afforded in the
Fucking
city.
altered report, like fucking reports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they use those privileges to alter a report to cover his ass. If he was going to give a diversion program, and I get it, he didn't do anything violent to qualify for it, at minimum, he should have had conditions met to get it. And those conditions should address the grievances, experienced by the victim of this case. the fact that we couldn't even get an apology out of him for
Yo,
a
that's
diversion program
crazy.
is insane.
I'll hand it to Rika. At least he had the fucking balls, you know, to face the charges. But it makes you wonder how many members of high command knew that this happened and they didn't give a fuck because they're rotten.
And well, it's not like he had the balls to face it. He didn't have a choice. The marshals was on his ass. Pred was on his ass.
No, I know, but
He
that
collapsed.
was like almost 2 months after the incident. I think, what was it, 6 weeks, 2 months? It was a long time. Oh, no, it was a long time afterwards. I know this because
Hearing's supposed to happen in August, and it got delayed because the lawyers decided to show up a week later, and you know, surprisingly, had a bunch of objections to make within 10 minutes of entering the case. And they were the same lawyers that represented him when they got interrogated by Pred. So, you know, that got delayed, and then that ended up to the point where it got delayed. So it got delayed into the point where Adams couldn't take the case anymore because he had to leave. And then Waste had to come on board, which created another delay because we had to now do depositions.
Yeah. That's crazy. Well, what do you think, Tony, about what I'm suggesting is the advocacy of a fund that goes towards lawyers that aim to file for, like, focus on like civil rights violations, like people getting shot, people, you know, all these things that keep, the only thing that can keep the shit accountable is lawsuits. But it's so much pressure for people. And
me personally, I feel like that'd be a great reason for me to hold on to my bar license.
Okay. I think we're going to do it then. Because
otherwise you'd see me at a cash exchange within a month. If this shit continues on the way it is. As a hostage, by the way, for legal purposes.
But it's funny, you know why I ran for mayor? Because Fiona Stewart got forced into to become a hostage by the police because they wanted to do fucking. She got pushed into becoming a hostage by the cops, and they wouldn't give me the police report.
Oh God.
Jesus
So
Christ.
that whole FOIA thing snowballed into you becoming mayor, and now you've got two
And-
people from
and
your
Crane
cabinet
stepping
running
down.
for judge now, and Crane.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Just
that's
keep making you go for mayor, huh?
you.
Yep.
Said Fiona. Where the fuck did you come into the
Oh, that's
picture?
me. Don't lie. Fiona was the one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wait,
You
you
found
know
yourself back.
this. You're the one who fulfilled the FOIA.
Yeah, you almost got me fired.
I didn't get you fired. What do you mean?
Almost got me fired.
No,
for
it's
your
not my
fucking FOIAs.
No, it's because Bailey gave me the fucking thing, and someone who happens to be on the other side
All
of
right,
the.
you know what? Give me no credit,
The-
Nino. Just
okay.
give me nothing. You're right. I wasn't the reason.
Jesus
Wait, were
fucking-
you the one that did the announcement or the internal communication for you, whatever?
She did. So what happened
Yeah.
was she, because this shit was so fucking brain dead. The police department had their own FOIA SOPs, quote unquote, and the ones that the lawyers had was a different document. So understandably, if I go to the PD and I'm like, hey, I need a copy of this because I don't have like my MDT access, obviously no one's going to be like, oh shit, it's two documents. No, lawyers are supposed to have it. So I got a copy of it, the correct one, mind you. And then Justice Bailey gave me a copy. And then he's like, wait a minute, there's two of them. So he gave me both. But in a conversation by an ex-high command member, I think they misinterpreted it as Tilly giving me something when it was actually Bailey.
What?
Yeah. And not that there was even anything wrong with it to begin with, because this all stemmed from the fact that they didn't want to legislate FOIA, because without it being legislated, the police department would never be accountable for ever providing any documents until and if a docket filing came up. You remember this, right, Tony? Like
Vaguely, I remember
Yeah.
it vaguely because this whole like internal, because I remember talking about internal communications when we were prosecuting Riker, because he randomly just pulled up the actual FOIA request that they made and the
Yep.
little communication channels. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh,
Did
and
they give somebody shit for this?
yeah, exactly. Oh, that's not
You're
even.
right. It's not me. It's fine.
No,
It was just Fiona.
yeah, that's where it started.
Yeah, thank God for Fiona. You did great too, Tilly. You did great.
I fucking hate you guys.
What? We're just not gonna manufacture shit. Oh, Tilly.
Nino.
Is she ulting?
What just happened? I don't.
She wants to say she's the reason I ran for mayor when it was actually Fiona Stewart. Well, it's more the circumstance that surrounded it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she gonna come back or?
No, she's gone.
Nope.
Yep. She went to go play golf.
She needs to come back for the
No,
deliberation. What
I'm
the,
sure
the
she'll
hell?
be back.
I mean, she's probably gonna get some money, so hopefully she'll be gone that
perfect amount of time.
Oh my God, that'd be such a twist. You win $1 million, but you know, no one to pay for it.
Actually, Kid, if she doesn't show back up, you want to split the winnings?
I mean, if,
Whoa,
I'm
whoa.
hoping that she gets something. If like
up there,
imagine
Archie.
she doesn't get
saying.
anything, I think I'd quit being a lawyer, honestly.
No. Oh, well. If she doesn't win anything, I don't know. I've there's so many bad stories I heard recently.
Kit, if nothing's awarded to her or she's getting pennies for her like suffering, I'm in the same boat too because I didn't wait 4 months for this.
Like after all of that, if she gets nothing out of this,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Especially since the guy was found guilty of evidence tampering. If she doesn't get anything punitively that's substantial, that's horseshit.
This isn't even about Tilly at this point. It's about every person that is a civilian in San Andreas.
Oh yeah, I mean think about the people that Riker hurt in his career. Dr. Bashar is gonna be the first one I think of.
Oh my God, Bashar's case was cooked. That was so cooked.
The fact that he can get robbed
the
out of
shit that they did, Maeve and Riker did to Tugs. Like,
that one was crazy too. I've never had a cell rep like that in my life.
Wait, what happened?
like what were they saying to him? Like they kept telling him that he needed to like apologize or be nice or something.
Yeah.
Like just creepy shit.
Yeah, it
honestly.
was one of those things. Those things where like he literally flexed his power.
an officer,
Riker
I'll be
flexed his
bringing
power as
food.
an officer to basically let me back up. Basically, this started with Tugs crashing his car and then got ejected in pain.
Yeah.
And then instead of the officers, Maeve asking him, "Are you okay? Can you feel this? Do you know where you are? Do you even know your name?" She starts questioning why the fuck was he driving a stolen vehicle and everything.
Nah.
Imagine
on the
asking.
ground.
Imagine asking a kid. Imagine asking a kid who just got ejected out of a fucking vehicle in pain all over, and you're being
my son.
drilled.
You should have seen him. You should have seen him. He was fucked up from
I
it
did
too.
see him. I
Yeah,
saw him
he had a lot of
afterwards.
scrape marks
I
and
mean,
bruises and shit.
listen,
and despite that, in the cell rep afterwards, he was the only one acting like an adult in that room when we walked in there. Because every time we asked for anything, he recognized that he can't talk to the officers, asked for accommodations of talking to a senior and above. And you know what? Every time we asked for any accommodations, Riken would look at him and go, yeah, sure, we might be able to do that. But he needs to ask me that, and he needs to ask me nicely. Just because Tugs gave his little, whatever the fuck she is to him, his little work girlfriend or whatever, a little bit of lip, Maeve, the one that falls.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about. No, I thought you
Yeah.
said Tugs' little work girlfriend. I was
Oh,
like,
no.
He works? Lord.
I mean, your little kid could be having sex.
He better not be.
I'm good,
Yeah.
thank you.
He doesn't even know what sex
Undersheriff
is.
Leonard, I might need some
Actually,
drinks
I
actually.
do need a food actually.
Yeah.
Wait, Undersheriff Leonard,
is
can I
Leonard?
get some
Leon. My name is Leon.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Like Cornwood might have. It was a long mentorship program with Cornwood. Okay, he might have made that stick for a while. I'm sorry about that, Undersheriff.
It's all right. It's all right.
Kid, did I ever tell you
Anybody
he
else?
pushed somebody out of a plane?
already.
Your kid pushed someone out of a plane? What?
Yeah, he killed somebody, and so I grounded him, and I haven't seen him since.
Wait, who the fuck did your kid throw out of a plane?
Fuck, what was his name? God.
Was it like a random person,
Yeah, just
cop,
some
gang
random
member?
cap.
What?
Yeah, just a random cap.
Wait.
This wasn't
He
Aziz,
pushed-
was it?
Was it Aziz?
Yeah, that was the one.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
What
he
the
fucking
fuck is
died.
wrong with your kid?
I might have to kill
I
your
think
kid
there's something
now.
wrong with his mental, like he's autistic.
Yeah, I really don't know the people I work with.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus
Tugs
Christ.
better watch his back.
Like, I think he's just misunderstood. You know?
That's
he's a good
fucking
kid at heart.
crazy. I don't think
So
this kid
crazy.
exists. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, he
Next
exists.
time
He's,
I see Tugs, I'm gonna put him in the ocean.
What the fuck?
Wait, Tilly, you told me you killed your kid.
I never said that. Well, you
You
know, I said
did.
he's grounded. Yeah, I
kill
said he
Tugs?
doesn't come around anymore. He's basically dead to me at this point.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was
do you
grounded
have
for a
any
long
food,
time
Tilly?
after he killed that cop. I do. I don't. Never mind.
Cassidy might have some.
I might get poisoned. Oh, thank you so much.
Wait, poison. Oh shit! Well, I ate food from him, so. Why does this box have Nino on it?
Wait, which one?
The food that he gave me.
Wait, let me see.
Yeah, this takeout box says your name on. Why do I feel weird?
Wait, can you actually hand it to me?
No, I already ate it.
Wait, did it actually or what?
Oh, it was just a handwritten thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I was passing out food and.
Oh,
had your name on
okay.
it.
Because we were gonna get like boxes with the the vote shit, but then. Fuck me. I do not want to do 7 days of campaigning. I really
Tony,
don't.
you got a plushie, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, actually, no. No, I
Oh,
didn't.
no?
I've been working my ass off, Nino. I'm tired.
You're tired?
Yeah, I've
Thank
been
you.
working my ass off.
I like the idea of a review board and paying lawyers to focus on civil suits against the PD. I feel like that's the only way forward, to be honest. Because there's no other form of recourse. The concern I have, though, is the expediency. Because that's the shitty thing, right? You can go to jail in the same hour you do an offense against law enforcement, but law enforcement does not get any sort of repercussion for what could be months. And so that inherently creates a system and an environment where there's an extreme imbalance of justice.
No. I mean, Peanut got his appeal heard like for 2 months, and shit, he just randomly came up on the plane to get here to hear that.
Dead guy, thank you the Prime sub.
Got it dismissed because the cops didn't show up.
Report number is
Yeah.
Oh.
10015 for Luna Purpose.
I kind of hate how used I've gotten to gunshots by working here.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I was full on expecting Slacks to run in here and like do some
Beating a
crazy
nerd.
shit.
I was
Yeah.
I was I was hoping he would. So.
I wonder how he's doing.
No, like just just submit it and just have them send it to me.
You know, Nino, with that idea too, I think in not only forming the lawyer circle,
I mean,
doing
not
that,
like
like that
16
part won't
days
be the hard part because,
afterwards, like,
I mean,
bones,
shit,
you
if you have
know,
like
waited.
just a handful of us there, it's already done. But it's more so of like the other side of, are there enough judges to take on that amount?
There is something we've been cooking up, and we're going to be presenting for it if we make it in the next term. It's going to be very spicy. The reason I didn't put it in the book is it's one of those things that if you say it out loud, people are gonna freak out.
Actually,
Yeah.
Cassie, can you come here really quickly? There's something I want to talk to you about that.
It's like Wall Street.
Situation.
Yeah, exactly. Buy, sell.
Everything snowballs.
What's happening?
Oh, it's a court case about people looking through her phone.
Who looked through her phone? Did they see your nudes?
I don't know.
Nudes? Who's
Hopefully everything's okay with your car.
Who's nudes?
They called 78.
Oh no, I said Nino's nudes.
My nudes.
No, they wouldn't fit on the page, unfortunately.
I literally have never had even the remotest type of sexual relationship with Tilly Winters.
Yeah, they didn't fit on the page.
Oh, I believe you, Tilly.
Yeah.
What? Someone stole the tire? You're crazy.
How do you even do that?
Why we are both getting sued?
Oh, perfect.
Looks like people are still trickling in, so we'll give it another minute.
Remember that one time you sent me nudes?
Hey, what's going on, Jack?
Everything is good, Emperor Nino Chavez. Where's gone?
Not too much. This is the good side. This is the we protect civilian side over here.
You know what? It's not the good side, Mr. Nino Chavez. This is the winning side.
Yep, that's right.
Yo, what's up, Tony? How you doing, brother?
What is happening?
If they give Kid a shit verdict,
Why are you so
Don't get
shitty
in
towards
between
I
me.
asked to be put in the six.
I'm not shitting towards you. I'm correcting the storyline. You can't
He's
twist
so
the
fucking mean
storyline.
to me. There's no twist.
Hey, Jack, do you have a drink by any chance?
Put
Oh,
me
you
in
always.
Because if they give a shit verdict and we waited 4 months for this shit verdict, I'm gonna lose it.
Awesome.
Sounds
Thank
good,
you.
Tony. Sounds good.
I'm gonna buy a gun.
Shut up, Tilly. No one cares about you.
You shut your fucking mouth. I'm so sick of you. I'm so sick of
Holy
you.
shit.
Whoa, Tilly,
I got a
Tilly.
special drink for you.
Yeah,
Tony,
tell me more.
No, I'm so
Yeah.
tired
Oh, I
of
can't
you
give it to you. I'm gonna put it on the floor.
face and your bald ass head.
It's right in front of you.
Yes, do not hold your
Holy
anger
fuck.
in you.
Holy fuck, you are just a disgusting piece of shit human being. I hope you know that.
Tilly.
Judge, I hope you
Tilly.
I hope you throw Tilly back in jail for years.
Yeah. Well, oh,
Come on.
wait,
Damn.
I gotta pass. That's sounding like a lot of
I hope Kid
paper.
doesn't lose, but I hope Tilly does.
Your Honor, Tilly's harassing the gallery. Can we give me a contempt?
What? Hello?
Hey.
Oh, hello. What's up? What can I do for you?
Hi,
Oh,
honey.
Say hi. Long time
Oh.
no see.
Long time no see. Wait, who's this?
In what way is she
Alana.
harassing?
Hi,
Oh my God,
Alana.
Alana reviews. You're a cop. now.
She
What the
called the
Yeah.
person
on,
bald
Tilly.
amongst
Tilly, come
other
stand in front of me.
barrages of insults.
Nobody wanted to let me in their gang, so I
Old isn't an
became
insult.
a cop.
Old is a compliment.
fuck? You joined the biggest gang of them all.
Yes.
I respect
Yes.
this.
But
I
What?
won.
what about ugly?
What? You agree with me, officer? Come on.
Then
You think this
explain
is-
custody.
Everybody's entitled
That's
to
just
their
like
Hey.
personal
opinion.
preference.
I don't
I'm not
gonna
gonna
take
lie.
this disrespect,
Alright.
PD. We are
Court is back
LSPD.
in session
I want to
in the case
mention that.
of Tilly Winters
You know?
versus
Yes,
the Los Santos
the-
Police
There is
Department
two.
and the Blaine
There's
County Sheriff's
BCSO
Office et
and
al.
LSPD.
Yeah.
We are not
The
PD.
court
We
has
are
carefully
not
considered the
together.
evidence and the
I'm just
testimony
saying.
presented
We
and
are
has
different
reached the
thing.
following
You know?
verdict.
Yeah, these are not the guys that
Execution took place on
infringed
June
on
19th,
Tilly's rights by going
2024,
through her cell
when the
phone.
plaintiff, Miss Winters, had her
Wait, we
SIM
gotta
card
listen to this
searched
before.
without her consent, Officer Riker, as directed by Officer Slacks. Although Miss Winters later granted consent, it is clear from the testimony that the search had already been conducted prior to her consent being obtained. This constitutes a violation of Miss Winters' privacy, and it is evident that proper procedure was not followed by the officers in question. Regarding Miss Winters' claim for lost wages, the evidence shows that her last paycheck before the incident was collected on June 16th, with subsequent payments on June 21st and then June 22nd, indicating that at least during that period of 21st to the 22nd, she was still employed by the police department at that time. A further payment of $31,634 was collected on June 26th, supporting the argument that her government employment was still active, as testified and supported by Officer Coyote. Now, after that date of the 26th, the amounts of pay significantly decrease, indicating that the payments were likely from welfare rather than from active government
None of this
employment.
is fact, though, because
Additionally, Ms. Winters began working for Group 6, as indicated by the bank records, on July 1st, further demonstrating that she did seek alternative employment following the incident. While the violation of Ms. Winters' privacy and the emotional stress it caused contributed to her decision to leave her job, the court recognizes that Ms. Winters did find subsequent employment, which mitigates the claim for lost wages. As a result, the court finds it is appropriate to award a reduced amount in lost wages rather than the full amount originally.
that doesn't mean
With regard to the violation of Ms. Winters' right to privacy and dignity, the court
you
finds
found
that the
another
actions of the
job, so
officers
it's not
involved were
lost
improper.
wages. What?
Accessing the personal information on her SIM card without prior consent constitutes a serious violation of her rights,
Okay,
And
this
as
is the
such,
important
court will
bit.
award Miss Winters damages for this rights violation. In total, the court awards Miss Winters $200,000, consisting of $100,000 for the lost wages and $100,000 for the violation of her rights. This amount is to be evenly split between the Los Santos Police Department and the Blaine County Sheriff's Office, and the defendants are ordered to pay the respective amounts to the plaintiff within 24 hours of this verdict. That is the order of this court.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Like, literally.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This meaning we can lose like 50 or 20 this kind of court cases.
Yeah, no, that's.
Yeah, we gotta be fine.
I'm actually pissed as fuck right now.
There's
But
no
that
way
was-
you just said that we got 20 more court cases to lose. We're fine.
No, it's true. That's literally pennies.
Yeah, but I need to mention this is from previous mayor election, PD stuff situation. With Riker,
But Jack,
yeah?
you guys can literally catch 3 people from a cash exchange, and you'd recuperate that money.
Okay, let's
Yo,
be
that
let's
is-
be not super, you know, and I know crazy here. Absolutely, kindergarten children will be understanding they break the law for going to her phone. Yeah.
What after the
This-
marshal
This is
stepped
not
in?
some. Oh my
Yeah.
God, crazy stuff.
Oh my
Nobody's
god.
doing that in the right
yeah,
mind. You know what I mean?
this 100K for
I'm just saying.
punitive is actually brain dead.
That's
I'm aware
true.
about Cybers.
And to say that lost wages
You guys
weren't
really have no idea any of this happened?
to say that lost wages weren't accrued because alternate employment was found is like
Hey, you got another job because we
Yikes.
fucked you over in the other job.
yeah,
That means you were
exactly.
okay.
Oh, you were able to get another job. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, you're welcome. By the way, you're welcome.
Yeah,
Here's some peanuts to go with it.
crazy. I'm more the lost wages. I'm not too worried about it, but 100,000 for constitutional rights violations is wild.
I was the only one that offered to help.
Well, not what we were hoping for, but at least it's something.
No, I think it's just
Yeah,
a
it's
display
something.
of how idiotic this judge is. To be honest.
Wait, where's Archie?
Whoa.
What? I said it. There, I said it. $100,000 for a rights violation.
How much you think
in which
supposed to get?
It needs to be extremely impactful so that the PD feels the repercussion, so that they do not do it in the future. Now what this opens up is, if I was a cop, I'm gonna fucking look through motherfuckers' cell phones because who gives a shit? You know what I mean? 100K, like that's huge. That's a
Yeah, but
cool.
Mr. Nino
That's
Chavez,
cheap
you
as
know,
shit. I make that in 2 days.
I
Yeah, but
mean,
this-
in like
the,
in
the
Riker
people not
didn't-
gonna pay. Yeah, the people
Riker
who were
didn't get
doing that.
fired for looking through the phone. He got fired for trying to cover it up.
Yeah,
what?
exactly.
Wait, he was fired because of.
What?
Oh,
Yes,
I
I
didn't know that.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm very disappointed that you left it at 100,000. I'd like to understand, and don't take this the wrong way, but this is a rights violation in which a police officer that is representing the police department went and looked through a citizen's phone and then concocted lies in a report. How is $100,000 going to set anything straight? How's that punitive, even remotely? Should the police department's budget not have been looked at? I mean, they've got a couple $1 million in there. $100,000. You could literally, you could do this every fucking day.
Jack, you
So
go to one
I
ammo
can't
crate.
just go pull evidence that hasn't been presented in court. I can't
public
go
record.
just look into their budget. But I understand that's public record, but that would need to be presented as evidence in the case for me to consider it as evidence when coming to the verdict. I can't just go pull information
I see.
to use in my deliberations.
So you're saying the 100,000 is a best guess effort as to what feels like it would be punitive.
It wasn't so much punitive. Again, it's compensatory, not punitive for the rights violation.
I see.
And
Okay.
looking through and just coming to a reasonable determination as to the severity of the violation, the harm that was caused as a result, and ultimately the mitigating factors that while I did note that procedurally it was backwards, she did ultimately give consent. and there was nothing used against her in any malfeasance. Like she wasn't criminally prosecuted as a result of evidence that was found by looking through the phone.
Yeah, but what does
while I agree her
post?
rights were violated, it wasn't.
Yeah, but
extremely
where does post facto consent, like where is that relationship coming?
Oh, like I said, it goes to the severity of and the extensiveness, intrusiveness of the rights violation. Exactly how much was her right to privacy violated? Ultimately, had they followed proper procedure and waited until after they had gotten her consent, they would have had access to the exact same information.
Well, Your Honor, here's the thing too.
Wait,
though.
but that doesn't
In the
make any
evidence stuff, and in the interviews like that are posted from the prosecution case, she only gave Slacks consent to look through that. She never gave Riker to do that.
If you give consent to the police department to look through your phone, you're not giving a specific officer permission. You're giving the people the information to use that information.
I'm gonna be a bit of a jerk, but as per the most recent ruling on the docket, she gave the citizen Slacks permission.
My understanding, I mean, that was not my understanding.
You know what I'm
referencing?
Do you know what I'm referencing?
No.
There are now 2 cases on the docket in the last 3 days, in which offices and departments and the individuals into there can be referenced as citizens when operating as law enforcement. So did she give it to the citizen Slacks or to the police officer and the police department as a whole?
So my understanding was that Slacks and Riker were on duty when the consent was given.
Yeah.
I see. Not the case.
I'm still trying to understand, like, where...
I'm not sure how that would change anything anyway. If Slacks is acting in his capacity as a police officer, whether they can look through the phone, that he's asking on behalf of the department, not him as a citizen. So he's in the possession of the phone, not as a citizen. He's in possession of the phone in his capacity as a police officer.
You're saying that
Ray, you want to get out of here?
But I'm not saying that a rights violation didn't occur. I ruled very clearly that a rights violation did occur. The process was not followed properly. They should have asked permission before even looking through the phone, period. Any of them.
Can we not say the process wasn't followed properly? That seems to mitigate how fucked this was. They violated.
There is a process that
illegally
they should have
searched
asked for consent and then searched the phone. Procedurally, they did not do that. They searched through the phone and then asked for consent, which is a violation to her right of privacy.
Yeah.
They needed to have asked for consent beforehand.
But getting the consent afterwards, how does that mitigate any of this? That's what I'm trying to understand.
So again, it doesn't mitigate whether a rights violation occurred or not. It's part of the totality of the circumstances that I need to consider when determining how severe the violation was and pinning a monetary value to the severity of that violation.
I see. And how much of a difference would it have made?
I can't say one way or the other.
But you must have,
I came to this determination based on the evidence that I reviewed. I'm not going to go into speculation on what I would have ruled if X was different. That's not appropriate.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier that the 100,000. Give me just a sec. Did they get? Let me pull this up. Earlier I referenced punitive damages. That's what they filed for. And you said it was what word did you use?
The lost wages is compensatory. The rights violation is punitive.
Okay, yeah. And that's what I'm referencing. Why 100,000 for punitive?
I mean, it's ultimately the court's discretion with it when it comes to punitive damages. There isn't a specific guideline that is to be followed in terms of how to determine that amount. It's entirely discretionary.
I see. Now, given that punitive damages are a way to punish, to redirect, to ensure that these things sort of do not happen again, how do you arrive at 100,000 without knowing how much the PD has. Why 100K and not $1? Why not $1 million and 100K? You get what I'm saying?
Ultimately, like I said, it comes down to discretion. Had the amount that the police department has at its discretion been entered into evidence in some way, or subpoenaed, or asked for in any way, and presented as a basis for why the punitive damages award should be what it is,
Got
that is
you.
evidence I could have
Okay.
considered, but I didn't have any of that to review.
Okay, I understood. Yeah, that's where that's what I was trying to understand right there.
Yeah, and
So-
that's where it comes down to the plaintiff a lot of times to substantiate what they're seeking in terms of punitive damages and why that is an appropriate amount to be sought because of how discretionary that both the request and the award is.
Does the DOJ not have access? So I bear with me because I've gone through very many iterations of the DOJ and the tools that you guys have and do not have.
Sure.
I in the past when I'm talking about like months ago, 5 years ago, et cetera, when punitive damages would be figured out, the DOJ would take a look at an individual's bank account. The same would be done in cases of like bail conditions and such. They would have access to that. It would be something that they would just inherently have akin to having access to like reports and shit. Is that no longer the case?
So under the bail legislation, we are provided the bank account information.
I see.
That is collected by law enforcement and provided to the Department of Justice. When it comes to civil cases, no, we do not subpoena their bank accounts or look into their bank
I
account
see.
when it
You don't just have access to it. So let's say we were to run this back, and you know, the intent of the civil action was to seek punitive damages as a mean to deter, you know, whatever it is, right?
Right.
Would the recommendation be that as a part of that civil lawsuit, that a subpoena should be sought of the individual department that is being filed against?
Yeah, I would say a plaintiff in a civil matter, not tied to this specific case or how I would have ruled in this case if the facts were different. But in general, if you are seeking punitive damages that you're going to argue in court are somehow based on a percentage of the assets that the individual has that you are going after, and how it needs to be at least X amount for it to be considered punitive to the individual that you are going after, you would need to ask on the docket essentially for the defense in that case to produce records substantiating their assets. They could object to that. It could get ruled on by the judge whether that's appropriate or not in that case, and it'd be handled on a case-by-case basis. But if I was a plaintiff's counsel, that's how I would go about it. It would be to get as much information as possible with regard to the wealth of the defendant to determine what would need to be an appropriate measure to be enacted in order for it to be considered punitive.
I'm going to take another stab here. Based on existing legislation, any citizen of San Andreas can get access to all bank accounts related to the state, if I'm not mistaken. Give me a second. What the fuck is it called? Give me a sec. Oh wait, it's called. Oh, here we go. I think it's called account. What is it called? Do you know what the legislation's called with all the bank accounts in it? Let's see. Oh, here we go.
Go ahead.
I found it. It's called Authority Bank Account. Apparently, you gotta search with a capital B instead of a lowercase b. As a part of this, the records in the accounts are subject to FOIA in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. Exceptions may be made for delayed record results delivery as such for technical delays. So in theory, am I able to start getting a weekly audit of all bank accounts associated to government entities and publish it out and allow that to be referenced for all future civil lawsuits against departments, government entities?
I would speak with the justice about that.
Okay. I see. Well, I mean, but if you saw it and I referenced it in your court case, well, how would you rule?
Sorry, if I saw what?
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with me publishing public documents. So
No, I'm saying about the process of actually so it says that they're subject to FOIA in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act.
Oh, so I know how to do it. What I'm saying is, if I begin to FOIA on a weekly basis and publish this to the public, can it then be referenced in the court case without having to formally
if one of the
do
parties enters it into evidence or preferably highlighted records from that into evidence that way, because just throwing a document at us that is an entire week of the state's bank account and saying the evidence that we need is in there, good luck finding it, that's
Well,
not,
yeah, they
that's
can
not going to break.
No, I just want it to be
point to
accessible.
it, enter it into evidence. I mean, I personally don't see an issue with that, but like I said,
beautiful.
In terms of actually getting those records released on a regular basis and whatnot, you need to talk to a justice.
Okay,
because I don't even have access to all of that information.
Yeah, no, it's neither do the justices. It's a wait, actually, I think that changed. That might have changed.
I believe they have access to all the accounts.
So I'll tell you what the source is. The problem is that the export button doesn't work. You gotta,
which is, I'm pretty sure, that last part of the whole delayed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it may have gotten resolved, and I forgot to test it. So
yeah, it entirely. Like I said, just chat with one of the justices. They all have that access, so they can see if they can or not, and they can go from there.
Okay. What I'm trying to, if you're curious where I'm going with this, is I'm trying to think of find a framework by which the problem right now, right? Like, look at the Tilly case. 4 months it took, right? And understandably, you guys have your roadblocks, but there's another roadblock on the other end of the spectrum, right? Which is, I just, during this entire case, 4 stories came my way where civilians are talking about getting shot, getting run over, rights violations, and the mountain that they have to climb in order to get resolution is just not available. So if I can find a framework by which they can expedite this, I'd like to take that approach.
This case is not indicative of what typically happens. The reality of what happened in this case is it was picked up by Judge Booty within a week of it being filed, and then nothing happened for 2 months. About
really?
4 weeks into that, where I saw it was just sitting on the docket, I reached out to Judge Booty to see if I could have permission to take over the case. It took another 4 weeks to get an affirmative response with regard to that, at which point I did in fact enter and take over the case as soon as I had permission to, because I saw it was sitting there forever, was already assigned to a judge, and in my capacity at the time as an elected judge, not even an appointed judge, I was essentially asking my superior if I could take over the case. No, he was an appointed judge at the time. I was an elected judge, which sits
sounds like
below the
dereliction of duty to me. I'm gonna go after this motherfucker.
That is entirely within your purview.
What the fuck was he doing for 2 months?
But that is what happened. Is it did sat there. He picked it up on July 23rd, and then I finally entered and took it over on September the 16th. Moved to get it scheduled as quickly as possible. I believe it got rescheduled at least once. So we wound up here today.
I got you. I appreciate.
But if somebody were to
picking it
file a case, a civil case against the PD tomorrow, I'll be honest, there's a bunch of judges right now, and you're about to have more elected judges that are chomping at the bit to take more cases. So it's probably going to get picked up same day, if not the next day.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah,
I hope you don't take my questions any sort of way. This is these are very much for me exploratory questions.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
I mean, a perfect example of that is I think an appeal was filed today at 4 p.m. and it was picked up by 6 p.m. So like the cases are getting,
okay.
Cases are we're getting to them.
Okay,
we got Grayson back on the bench now. we got Justice Hallow back, so we've
I'm
got
not
people
chat.
around
I
to
got
take
so much shit
cases,
on my plate.
and,
I'm only
we're
saying it
about
for
to have
RP
more with
because
the
it's funny.
elections. I'm trying to get
Alright.
Angel to open that up from 2 spots to 3 spots, but we'll see. I think we're gonna stick at 2 for now and see how it goes.
Wait, spots for what?
The elected judge position. I think the ballot already went out, so it's gonna be 2.
So what? Okay, so that's something that is also confusing to me.
What's that?
So you mentioned there's 2 on the ballot, but then judges also just get hired. What's going on with that? Like,
So there's 2 different ways judges can join the judiciary. They can
Yeah.
either be elected through the election process, or
Yeah.
they can be appointed by the justices.
I see.
Appointed judges have a full range of what a judge is capable of doing. Judges elected by the public have a limited scope of authority set forth in the judicial election process legislation.
Oh, so it goes elected judges, then appointed judges, and then justices?
Correct.
Where is the scope of their powers defined?
Of what a judge or what the elected judge's scope of authority, the limited is in the judicial election process legislation. It's just titled judicial election process.
Wait. Oh.
Judicial
Hold on.
hiring and election process. My apologies.
I see hiring and election.
Yep. So it goes through judicial appointments and how judges can appoint them, and then elections. The elected judges are initially limited to bench trials, issuance of licenses, open small claims court, and traffic court.
What the fuck? That's crazy. Okay.
And then essentially, as the elected judges show their competency and ability to take on more serious matters,
I mean,
that's where
that does
additional
make sense.
responsibilities may be outlined by the Department of Justice as they see fit by the justices.
Yeah, that does make sense.
I mean, that's the reality. Is somebody that just
you
gets
end up
elected
hiring like fucking like a I don't know, a person like a clean person for the ADMC or the Saints, just as an example. And next thing you know, they're filing like opening subpoenas for like their rival gangs or whatever. You wouldn't want
or
that.
denying subpoenas against people they're familiar with.
Yeah.
So essentially, when they come in from the election, we do an assessment. Or when I say we, I'm speaking on behalf of the justices and Department of DOJ as a whole. Do an evaluation of where their competency is at, how experienced they are, if they're ready to start taking on more responsibilities than what is initially outlined. And that's how both McNee and myself, while we were in their capacity of elected judges, started doing a lot more. We started taking docket cases. We started answering subpoenas and warrant requests. And that was all under the line of additional responsibilities may be given by justices as they see fit. As we took a couple bench trials at initial cases, we were overseen by justices. They were determining our competency and our ability to take on those additional responsibilities, and ultimately granted us the authority to do so.
So you started to be able to hire them this month, right?
In terms of justices appointing judges?
So up until the 10th, which is 5 days ago, they could only be elected.
No, they could be appointed. Previously, they could be just straight appointed by any singular justice.
Yeah.
Now it requires the unanimous vote of all justices.
I
which is what this
see.
update pushes. Essentially, any justice could have
This
just
is the
hired a judge at any
removal.
time. They could just appoint a judge solo dolo, no need to ask anybody else.
That makes sense.
Now,
Okay.
over the last couple of days, the justices have been reining in their unilateral authority to do things and replacing it with a vote amongst the justices, and at least a majority, if not in this case, a unanimous vote of the justices.
Who are
required to hire a
the
judge.
justices right now?
Angel, Hart, and Hallow.
Does Hallow exist?
Yes, Hallow just recently rejoined the judiciary and was brought back into the role of justice, I believe, 2 days ago.
And who puts him in as a justice?
The other justices unanimously have to agree. So Hart and Angel agreed to bring him back. He had previously resigned from his position as a
Isn't that
justice.
a little
He'd
cooked?
taken some time away, and he came back. It was cooked.
That seems like a really cooked process, to be honest. Like the Supreme
The
Court
justices
voting.
unanimously agreeing to it. I mean,
for law it makes sense, but because then you I mean,
that is the process that was put in by the state when the justice role was created.
where is that?
I don't know.
Is it in a secret document? You can tell me. You can whisper.
No, there's no secret document. I don't think it's in a document anywhere. I think it was just the
They just
mandate
made
of
it
the
up?
state.
Where is the state?
the guy that
writing?
signed
Marshall,
the
how's it going?
Constitution,
You can
the
whisper.
K oil.
I see. Hold on.
Yeah, I've never met this guy. The state of San Andreas K. Oil. So
It's my dad.
My understanding is those directives were given to the justices by the state when the new government was formed. At least that's the explanation that's been given to me.
Interesting. What if you're being lied to? You thought about that? Twice?
I imagine the state would come in again. The judge role, even the elected judge, appointed judge,
Why didn't
justices
you
is
get a
all
chance?
required
You've
to
been
be
around.
beyond reproach, and essentially we are all overseen by the state, and the state can remove us for any reason, anytime, based on that requirement of
I mean,
being beyond reproach.
why not you though?
Why am I not a justice?
Yeah, have you thought about that? Like, why didn't they vote you in? I know it's in
So
the back of your mind.
from a procedural standpoint, I do understand they want to have an odd number of justices to avoid any tie votes.
Well, I know, but why you and not why not you and why him? This guy hasn't been around.
Hello.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a
mean,
lot
you've been
of
cooking. Like, what the fuck?
historical experience than I do.
Historical, my ass.
Listen, it's not something that I haven't thought about. I don't mind giving it a shot if and when I'm offered the opportunity. But I was appointed 2 weeks ago. I just coming off the election process. They
Did
didn't
to
make,
him what I did with Daisy. I'm just saying.
I mean, they could have made both McNee and myself rerun for election technically under the legislation. We do 2 terms before usually it's considered
Weiss,
whether
I
or not
got
we're
you, all
appointed.
right? Things are going to
they
change.
straight appointed us.
Things are going to change under my rule over the next 3 months.
Well, wish you and all of the candidates the best of luck in the election. Again, it's a position that we must remain nonpartisan, so I can't support any one candidate over the
You're
other.
like the Vivian Gray of the DOJ now.
I'm not sure what that means.
Look, you're a good one, Weiss. I appreciate the time.
No worries. I'm always happy to chat through things.
All right. All right.
Tony, I got a quick question for you, actually. If you could
Sure.
All right. Bro, Weiss is great. But fucking Nino is such a shitlord. Oh, fuck. Industry plant. All right.